Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a Sunday night live show. The weekend flies by, and here we are getting ready for the market this week. It will be a short week with Thanksgiving Thursday, so we will check out and see what's going to happen, if it's going to be slow popping or what's going to be happening. I think it's going to be kind of moving, to be honest with you. Crypto's still kind of moving and pull back a little bit today. We'll go through it all. So here we go. I hope everybody had a great weekend. And let's see what's going to happen this week. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Let's just jump right into our list, fly through it on a Sunday night, and we'll get ready for this short week here. And let me know if you guys want to see anything. And here we go with Elab because they just announced a reverse split. I'm telling you, when things are set up on these penny stocks, it's probably why I don't like them very much. Then they start announcing reverse splits and all that nonsense right there. So here we are with it having a reverse split this week. I believe it's going to take place Wednesday. Let me just double check. Effective at midnight on November 27th, which is Wednesday night, midnight. So there you go. It will take a place. It will take effect then. So we will keep an eye on Elab tomorrow, see if it can run up at all. It did dip down with that reverse split news, and we'll see what it can do in the morning. You know, we'll be looking at it after reverse split because it's going to be popping. It's been setting up, and they just want to do a reverse split. It's just crazy, these penny stocks, and that's why I like the big cap option ones much more, because they seem to be a little more safe and not as volatile. But maybe this will pop up tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on it and see what Elab wants to do. But let me look at it on my chart and see what it looked like in the after hours, because it did pull back there. Like I said, I think it's under 2 cents as a matter of fact. And it is just has that pullback look, but it could bounce tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on it, see what it wants to do there with that reverse split. And obviously we'll be looking at it tomorrow morning. XTIA, let's see that one real quick. That one was pulled back on Friday, but it looked like it was trying to move in the after hours. And again, I don't think it hasn't really popped yet. It's just getting ready to set up and get moving here. This is an aerospace and defense. It tried to get running the other day on Thursday. It just couldn't do it. And it does not look bad on mine. I'm telling you, this thing is going to get set up and get moving. Your 20 is down here at 6 cents, and we're at 5 right here. So keep your eye on this XTIA. I have a feeling you're going to get moving. Maybe it's not this week, but it's going to be soon with that bad boy. It doesn't look bad at all. So I will keep you updated. I'm just going to write down here ELAB is a reverse split. And we're going to keep an eye on XTIA because that one is set up. And I'm telling you, it's not looking bad. And this one's not looking bad either. That SVMH, that one's not looking bad at all. It was up 2%, and I'm telling you, this thing is in the right spot. And again, maybe it doesn't want to run tomorrow, but it's getting really close right there. SVMH. So just keep your eye on this one because I have a feeling this one wants to get cruising in the next day or so. Maybe, like I said, maybe not tomorrow. We got to see how the market conditions are, but it will get moving. And I believe they do have some earnings coming up on that one. SVMH. I put the earnings on mine. I'll have to check and see how accurate it is, but it does say December 6th coming up. So that's another week out or so. So we're fine with that. And that's SVMH. Keep an eye on it. That penny stock, it looks like it's set up. And let's just look at that Nature's Miracle because that one did do a reverse split and it was starting to curl back up right after that split on Thursday, and it got moving on Friday. So NMHI, keep an eye on this as well. I don't know if it's exactly going to run up tomorrow. It did bounce up off that split. We'll have to keep an eye on it just to see in the morning if it wants to continue getting set up there. So I'll let you know, and we'll see that one. I'll have to look at NMHI, Nature's Miracle, but it did run up a little bit the other day on Friday, and that TRNR came down. It was moving around, jumped up Thursday, And then yesterday, Friday, it opened at about 377, ran up to 390, and then pulled back into the 320s. Let me take a better look at it on mine, TRNR, because if this thing wants to get cruising, it has a lot of room, and did on Thursday. It tried to run up there. It got up over 654, and you're looking at a 322, and it's still not looking bad there, as if it's trying to set up to do something. So I will keep an eye on that one as well in the morning. That's TRNR, because that one could be a crazy one. And that 20 is way up there, or not way up there. It's up there at 661. It's been pushing the envelope to get up there, but the 50's way up there at like 13. So there's a big gap in between if it can get in between that 20 and 50. So that's what we're looking for on TRNR. And I'll keep an eye on that. EFSH. This one's been looking good. We were looking at this. It's been on a laptop travel list and it's split and it was finally getting set up and it did run up on Friday, EFSH. And obviously we were looking at it, that 1847 holdings, and it does. It looks pretty good right there. A little bit flat, but I think Friday was probably its bottom. It pulled back to that 31.5 cents and then jumped up to about 38. So it even got up to 40 actually. So there you go. EFSH, and it's not looking bad. So keep an eye on that to try to continue moving up. And that one could have a little momentum left in it. So we'll keep an eye on that. And Sunrun, RUN. I'm telling you, this thing is just getting set up here and it is going to run. So keep your eye on RUN because it's curling through. It's looking good. We were looking at it the other day, probably it might have been in the nines. It was definitely maybe in the lower tens. I don't know, but it's at 1052 or yeah, 1052 right now. It got up to 1066 and it is looking good. So Sunrun is looking good. Keep an eye on that to continue to run there. And SNSE, this one has been setting up and it looked pretty good on Friday. I'm telling you, it's going to get right over that support at 54 and or resistance and make it its support line at 54 and it's about at 53 right there. SNSE. And I was telling you, it was just setting up the other day, and I posted that I guess 2 days ago. I was probably like a day early on it because it was starting to curl up and then just kind of pull back. But I'm telling you, the Sensei Biotherapeutics is looking really, really good right there, guys. So keep your eye on it. And I know another big person was looking at it, and that guy has a good eye. I keep forgetting to look and give him some credit because I totally forget who it was on Stock Twits, and I can picture what his thing looks like. I don't remember. I'll look. But anyway, he's been talking about it, and he has a pretty keen eye and picked some good ones as well. So I know he had mentioned it because he posted about it when I mentioned it. So I appreciated that. And yeah, he has a really good eye for things, and he thinks this one's going to cruise. And I'm saying I know it's going to get cruising. So it looks really good for this week. SNSE. So keep an eye on that bad boy because it is looking really good right there. And then WBA, you have to throw Walgreens on there just to see what they're up to. It was curling up, and we did kind of talk about the fact that it was going to make this one little pop up here as it was pulling back, and it might get up into the nines right there. So see if it does curl up and get a little run. Maybe it'll try to get up to 10, but I'm not so sure. And again, it's just still bearish. It's not getting bullish and it will run up as it's stair stepping down. It always does, just like when they stair step up, they pull back down and go up. So kind of this similar pattern like that, just the opposite. So that is WBA, and it is running up at the moment. But again, it does not look real healthy for the company. We'll see if it can change around, and we'll keep an update on that one. DXYZ, this thing's been crazy, but again, the chart reset up. I thought it was going to try to pull back down here into like the maybe into the 30s somewheres, but it didn't appear to on Friday. So we'll have to look at it on tomorrow on tomorrow, of course. So we'll have to look at it tomorrow morning, just see how it is because it did reset up. It's up at that top. It wants to get back up there again. And it does have it's going to pull back around the $30 range, 35. I'm not exactly sure when, but it's going to do it as this bad boy's setting up. So you don't want to get caught chasing it in the 42s, 43s up here, or even 45s if it's going to pull back and you can get a better price on it. But it is definitely setting up, and it's one that you want to keep an eye on because it's going to be a good one. And I just don't want you to chase it while it's all the way up there at the top there. And like I said, it was in the top, came out, went back in the top for a brief second, and now it's reaching that top line. And you don't know if it's going to get in there or just bounce back. It could bounce right off of that and come down. So that's what I'm watching for it. And again, it's going to be a solid one to grab some. And we were looking at it, and then it just popped up. I mean, we literally looked at it right down here. I remember it was like $13, and then the next day it went nuts and went up to 25, and its high was 42. And the day after that, it kept on running to its high of 50. And then it just kind of pulled back a little bit, but not as much as we had wanted it to. So we're just going to have to catch it on that low and take it up there on DXYZ. And that's what I'm looking at for that one. VKTX's Viking one's been nice. And this was a laptop travel special right here because we knew where the bottom was. It's been running up. We knew that that low was going to be 47.65, and it's back up to 52.85, and it looks good. It is going to continue to curl up there. Let me see what it did in the after hours. Yeah, this thing's going to run up. It might pull back a little bit, but you're going to get it back up into the 60s with no problem. So keep your eye on that Viking because it is going to set up there and it will continue to run. It's just fish hooking up, so just got to keep an eye as it bounces around. But they are moving, so and this one will be as well. VKTX, and again, it depends on the market conditions and what kind of week it is. But this has some this could catch some momentum and really get moving there. It took a nice dip. And it is setting up there to be pretty bullish there, that VKTX. And let's take a look at TNXP, this Tonics, because this one ran up the other day and started to pull back. It never looked bad the next day. It ran up on the 20th, which was Wednesday, and then Thursday it pulled back but didn't look bad. And then Friday it kind of pulled back a little bit more. Let me see what it looked like in the after hours. Maybe it's just trying to make a base up here. We'll have to keep an eye on this. You can't exactly tell, but it does look like that 20 is curling up to catch it to make it go higher. And the low is probably around like right under 17 cents. So in the high 16s, and you're at 18 and a half right now. So we'll just watch to see if it pulls back again anymore. And then this one does look like it's going to set back up again to try to run up. And we'll see if it wants to set up and try to run up higher than its high was before at like 32 cents. So we'll keep an eye on that TNXP, see what it wants to do. HAO. This one was setting up last week and was running up there. And what did it do? It ran up a little bit, but not as high as it got on the 19th there. So it ran from 26 and then it kind of pulled back on Friday, but I think it ran up a little bit, but it's at 24 and a half. It's not looking bad right there. And we've been watching it and saying it was going to get moving, HAO, and it just is a little bit of healthy pullback. It could easily get cruising. So it looks like it wants to. I would keep an eye on it because it does look like it wants to run up to at least like into the 40s, honestly. It looks like it wants to just run. So it could double itself with no problem right there. And that's HAO. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. I'll put a line to keep an eye on that tomorrow. AZI, let's look at that. It was down 2 cents. This one is also another bullish one. Has that weird look and pretty much opened and closed right around the same price, but did it 2 days in a row. So giving you that strange doesn't know what it wants to exactly do as it hits the line. I think you're going to get a bounce off. It looks pretty bullish. If it pulls back, it's coming into the 160s, but I don't even know if it wants to. I would keep an eye on AZI for a bounce up tomorrow and trying to get set up right there. So watch that one. It looks pretty good to me, especially in the after hours Friday. And DBGI, let's see what Digital Brands Group is doing. It was down 4%. And this one was setting up. It had run up and it's right there on the 20. It's just sitting there, not in a bad spot on Friday. Just a little bit of pullback, nothing crazy. And yeah, you could easily get curled back up and moving. It opened at 14, came down to 11. It closed around 12. And like I said, it could easily get curled back up. I'll keep an eye on that and we'll pretty much know tomorrow. I mean, like I said, the short weeks are sometimes a little odd, but I don't even know that the market has a lot of momentum and a lot going on, so it could easily keep that volume and just keep cruising. And maybe Friday might be slow, but we'll keep an eye on things obviously, and we'll know in the morning how they're set up and looking as well, and I'll keep an eye on all of them. For sure, ABVE, this one was running up, and we've been watching this one, that above food ingredients, and it was up Thursday and Friday. And I'm telling you, this thing wants to run. This is another one that, like Laptop Travel, love this one right here. And I'm telling you, it's setting up on, I think it's going to run even higher. So keep an eye on that ABVE because it is looking good to try to run up higher with some momentum right there. And that is Above Food Ingredients. It's a Canada packaged food company. And again, it was up 3 cents. It ran what, 64 to 68, and it's right around 64 or 67, 68 cents. I can't tell. Mine says 68. We'll go with that. And it closed with some momentum there. So ABVE is looking good. So keep an eye on that. NDRA, this one came back 18 cents, but then did run back up a little bit more in the after hours to like ran up 11 cents. So it tried to make up that pullback and just kind of was flat, honestly, right there. And kind of curling up on mine. What's mine say? 518 to 554, and it closed at 533. I mean, mine looks really good. Again, these things are looking a little different from each other. So sometimes I generally look at the FinViz one first, and then I look at mine. So I get a better idea if I kind of know if the FinViz one matches mine. I pretty much know they're accurate. And then if they're different, I basically am going with mine. But I like to look at least two of them. I used to look at the stock charts as well, but it pretty much looks exactly like FinViz at this point to me. So it's just kind of a waste of a couple seconds. Not that it takes long, but I don't really need to look at it. I can just tell from these two now. And yeah, the Trend Spider, I'm telling you, is just money. I love it. I even was checking out TradingView and was kind of comparing them. I'm telling you, Trend Spider just seems to be on point. Yeah, TradingView is great as well. It has a lot of accurate live stuff, but Trend Spider has like AI bots you can have and again, the charts and the scanners you can set up, just a lot of stuff that they have. And I did a bunch of research before when I was looking into doing it, and they were the only ones that I actually I think I was talking about it before. I actually spoke to a bunch of the different companies, asked them what I could do, and TrendSpider seemed to be the only company that could do what I wanted to do. And I've been very happy with it. So that's been basically what we've been picking all these poppers off of. I'm not gonna lie, that trend spider chart has been money for us. So again, I look at the FinViz and I do have the elite, so it is accurate up to time, but again, it's just not the pre-market. And I talked to them as well, and they're going to look into actually making it a little bit better. So we'll see. I did message FinViz and asked them, if they could try to look into it because of the web bull, the Webull, and everything else is so different. And they sent me a really nice message back and said, "Hey, it's a great idea. We sent it to our back end, and it's something we're absolutely going to consider." So I said, "All right, great. That would be excellent." So that would be really cool too. So if you see FinViz get changed, I did reach out to him and asked him, and but yeah, it would be great if we had two of them that were just dead on. But again, Trend Spider, just money. So I'm telling you, NDRA looking pretty solid on my chart in the after hours, and I'm going to go with it because it was looking good last week. And again, sometimes these things look like two different charts, so that's why I'm just kind of explaining to you what I'm looking at here. And obviously, you can see them on YouTube. And in the next week or so, I'll get it all up live so you guys can watch the live feed and everything else. And I have a couple ideas that I want to get kind of done this week and see if we can make the show even better. So there you go. And here we are with CETX, and this one went down pretty crazy when they announced that 1 for 35 reverse split. And that one just took it out again, just like an E-Lab. They start announcing these reverse splits and stuff right when the company has momentum, and it just drops them. And I posted a message about this because I'm telling you, on the 9th or on the 20th, on Wednesday, this thing had momentum. It looked solid. It looked like it wanted to continue up, and they already knew that they wanted to do a reverse split the next day. You can tell. And then boom, they just crushed it. And anybody that got involved in it or had anything, they just stole your money because it's exactly what I mean. You look at the chart, it's almost like what they say to you. And it's crazy that these companies can do it. And another reason why I kind of stopped messing with the penny stocks because almost all they're just not the same as they were before. I just can't express that enough. Before they would just set up and pop, and it was pretty easy to hit them, know where they were running up to, and they wouldn't have to pop just in the pre-market. They would start and run up until and then 9:30 and the 10 they might be moving and you'd want to get out. But yeah, it was just way better a couple years ago. It all changed during COVID, I'm telling you. And another thing I was talking about, because I always say how laptop travel used to have to call in. Another thing that made the market way different. I think Robinhood might have been the very first one to introduce it. I could be wrong, but I think so. When they started doing like the zero trading fees, that just made the market change 100% because people used to have to pay like almost $30 for one trade. So you can imagine you aren't going to be trading in and out of these things nonstop, and making day trades and stuff. If you're paying $30 per trade, you had to already know that you're going to make more than that on your profits and be way higher. So now you have many platforms that basically have zero trading fees, and that makes it a big difference. I know when I started, there was trading fees I had to always worry about, and now I can just do whatever. I can trade as much as I want whenever I want and never really worry. I think it's like 3 cents or something. It's crazy. And I kind of look at it like that's so nutty how that used to be different. So, again, just things that make the market different, and you got to keep up on these trends and just pivot and know what you're looking at. And again, the penny stocks just aren't the same. They're a lot of fun. They're a great exercise. They'll keep your brain and like your eyes really good on the charts. If you can do these, you can definitely do the bigger caps for sure. And I think a lot of you are starting to see that and say, hey, it's a good idea to look at these bad boys because it is. And, but not necessarily try to trade them all. Maybe if you see that one that you're like, oh, this one's that diamond in the rough and I really like it and I'll trade it smart, you jump in. I've done it with a few of them, but I'm mainly big cap option doing ETFs and I'm just crushing them. And like I said, it's pretty simple. So not I won't say it's simple, but I feel like the trading aspect of it and the emotional aspect is way less and way easier than trying to deal with the penny stocks. But I do love watching these penny stocks. And again, I'm not invested in any of them. So when I see them dip down pretty hard, it's like, damn, that didn't even look like it wanted to do that. And that's just another reason why I would be pissed off if I was in this thing because I would have been like, yeah, Wednesday, it's going up Thursday. And all of a sudden it dips down out of nowhere because they knew they were going to reverse split it. So, yeah, just something crazy right there to think about again. And just more or less, even the options and mid cap ones are a little safer than the penny ones. Again, at 11 cents, this thing ran up the other day to 22 and a half. So, or was it even higher? I forget. Yeah, 25 and a half is what it was. So that's CETX. And here we go. Let's get rolling through Buru, Buru, Nubaru, up a penny. And this one is setting up too. I know this was setting up last week, and I have a feeling you're going to see a runner right here with Buru. And yeah, Buru, it's Nubaru. And that one is looking good. I'm going to mark that one right there because it is looking solid right there. Just a little flat, but sitting right in the right spot right there. And all it needs is a little curl up and it's going to get moving. ITR ITRM was looking good, up 4 cents, and it kind of jumped up to its resistance and it's making its support. It could jump back down again, but I'm telling you, this thing is setting up and it's about to get up into the top. And just let it set up because it is going to be bullish and running. And just try to catch these bottoms around the 140s. It's in the 180s now, and I'm telling you, this thing is going to look good. So ITRM, I have a feeling you're going to get seeing this. We're going to see this thing actually start taking off. I want to see it on mine just to get a better idea. What did it run up to on the 25th? I remember 232. It's going to get back up there, I think. I just think it's trying to build itself up. It did hit that resistance. And again, it may pull back. So we'll look to see if it comes back down into the 140s here. But it is going to set up and get rolling. So we want to keep an eye on that because that could be a runner. And they did have some FDA stuff and something going on. Holo. Let's look at it because it is crawling off. That could be its bottom Friday at 196. And we could look at a little bounce right here on Holo. It looks like it's trying to curl back up. And again, it does look like it's bottom on Friday. So I know we've looked at it forever, but look for it to try to set up and run one more time, and then we'll leave it alone. And that is good old HOLO. And it's at 214 after a split. And remember when they were saying to buy it at 120 and it was going to $2. It was a Tuesday afternoon. It was at 120 and it was going to $2 by Friday, and the next day it was down at 80 cents. And that's when I probably a few of you found my posts because it was funny, and because I immediately said that thing's not going up, it's going down. And there you go. And it just continued to go down. We played every pop textbook on it from 80 to back to 120 and then back down and then from like the 20s to the 40s and back down. And so yeah, it's curling back up. We'll watch it one more time and then we'll let Holo go. And that's micro cloud hologram, unless it wants to do something crazy and that pops up on the radar and or a scanner or something, then we'll look at it. But yeah, we'll play this popper and that'll be Holo. And we pretty much played it as textbook as you want to play it. And here's VCIG. This one was moving, another one moving up on Thursday, and then just hit kind of a wall and pulled back like 18 cents, but went up 20 in the after hours. So I don't know why it pulled back Friday, but it did just kind of go right back up. So not looking bad. Open 210, got up to 228, and it's at 217 as low as 191. So it did bounce around there, and it's trying to get up to this 247 area. And again, it's a 217. And that's what it says on both of these. So I'm going to guess it's at 217. So it does want to get up to that 240 area, and then it could pop off of there. So keep an eye on this VCIG. It is trying to set up. And the yin and the yang, let's look at them. The yin was down $1.91. It was way down there on Friday. It did drop pretty good. Let me see what it did in the after hour. Oh, what am I typing? Here we go. And yeah, it just dipped down really nice to what 26.38. It opened at 26.26 and it got down to 25 something. So yeah, this yin is going down. Let me just make sure it wants to stay down. Let's look at the yang and see what that wants to do. Our yin and our yang. Our yang was way up. It was at 84 something. And it's sitting at that. I mean, it looks like it wants to curl up. It could pull back because again, they don't want to make these things go too crazy, too fast, especially the yang. So it looks like it wants to go up, but I have a feeling you're gonna have it pull back again into the 70s, the high 70 area. Good possibility as it sets up, and then it's gonna really pop off. So that's what it looks like. I would look for a little bit of pullback here. We'll see how it opens in the morning. Again, I doubt they're going to make it run right up into the 90s tomorrow. It's just they just can't do it with this thing because you'll collapse. China will go nutty, and so I think you're going to see it pull back a little bit as it sets up. But don't get me wrong, this thing's going to get pretty good there. The yang and the yin's going to pull back some more. So that's what they look like right now. And we'll address them in the morning. And Boyle and Cold. Boyle did pull back pretty good. It did look, I mean, I thought it was going to keep running up and it pulled back with a weird look right there on Friday. So let me take a look, see what it did in the after hours, because that's a solid pullback right there. Let's look at cold because I know that one did go up $6 and it did just bounce off that line. So maybe it'll bounce up a little bit more. They kind of have a weird look, I'm not going to lie, but. I'll have to take a look at them. It does look like Cold wants to bounce up, but I'm not so sure it wants to curl through when it gets up here. It could be one of those situations where it's just running up a little bit and then it's going to pull back some. So keeping an eye on that as well. And that's the natural gas ETF, and that's Boyle and Cold, KOLD. And that is them guys. And FFIE. Let's see if I could type that in. There we go. Pull back 6 cents. It was trying to run up the other day on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. Looks like a little healthy pullback, nothing too crazy there on FFIE. I would assume that it was just healthy pullback. I'll have to look at that in the morning just to confirm it, but it don't look like anything crazy. Let's put it that way, but it was down 6 cents and another three in the after hour. So I'll have to take a look and see if it wants to get moving again, and that is FFIE, and that's a Faraday Future Intelligent Electric, crazy one that went like over 8,000% before, and TWG, that Top Wealth Group, and this one is just setting up. Oh yeah, it did run up the other day, and it ran up Friday as well. It went like 26 to 35, somewhere's around there. TWG, I've been saying it wanted to cross up and get running. And I'm telling you, this thing wants to get up into the 40 cent area. So keep an eye on this bad boy as well. I know a couple people hit it on Friday. I did get a message or two that a couple people played that one from the show, and that turned out well. And I think it's going to turn out even better. So keep your eye on that TWG because it is looking good right there to keep going. And BNRG is like something Miller and something. Hold on. Bread Miller Energy, that's what it was. And that was up 2 cents. And this was curling up. I'm telling you, this one's going to get cruising, guys. I was telling you guys last week, this thing was setting up. It did run 75 to 77. It's at 77. And I'm telling you, this thing was looking good. The bottom was on Thursday at 68, and you're at 77 already, and it looks like it wants to run. It has some room, so watch that BNRG. It looks really good right there. And that's another one setting up to get moving. And how about that TRUG, that True Golf Holdings? That was down a penny, just kind of pulled back there to the 38 cents, and it's back to the 43. It looked like it wanted to get out of the basement, just never did. And it could be that dip and rip situation because that's what it looks like to me. Again, back to 43, and it got down to 38, and it's looking pretty good right there. TRUG. So keep an eye on that as well. Not looking bad still, even with that little pullback. And real good food company, RGF, up 2 cents the other day. We were talking about it bouncing back up and that being the bottom. It did bounce right up. It hit that support or resistance line, and we'll have to see if it can continue to get rolling through it. It looks like it wants to, but again, it'll depend on the market conditions. Let me see what it did in the after hours if the chart comes up. Here we go. Actually, it probably will. It looks pretty good. 25 to 28, and it's at 26. I would say that RGF is looking pretty good to continue its way up. So I would keep an eye on that if you like that one too. And it could run right up into like that 29 cent area. It's at, yeah, 26 already. Yeah, it's gonna get moving up to that 29, and then possibly even bounce off that and pop up more. So keep an eye on RGF, WTO, U time up a penny, trying to crawl. This one was starting to look good. I know we were looking at this for a little while. We've been looking at this for a long time actually, but it is in that channel now. It ran up 33 to 37. It's at 35. And I'm telling you, this one was looking good last week. We went over this and EJH, and we were saying they both were looking good. EJH is curling up too. And Thursday was at bottom at 67 cents. You're back at 73 and a half. And yeah, EJH is starting to, it's EJH is going to roll off and look really good. So if you want to see one that's going to roll off, check that one out because that one looks great. And that 20 is all the way up here at like 85 cents. It's going to get moving right there. It looks really good on my chart. Anyway, I'd have to say. So I'd keep an eye on that one, EJH, and that is a China stock. And I think these again, the low cap, the small cap China ones, they're setting up. They want to get running. And that yang will run up when these ones run. If the big caps wanted to run up, the yin would be running up, and you can kind of see it right there. So we'll be keeping an eye on these China small caps because you guys know they can get crazy. We've talked about it before, and you guys witnessed it recently. So I know you guys will be interested in that. And GXAI, this one pulled back 9 cents and didn't pull back horribly, but it wasn't the best day for it on Friday. So we'll just have to see how it reacts tomorrow if it wants to actually pull back. It was trying to crawl up and hit that line, and it will set up. I don't know if it wants to do it tomorrow this week or just roll into next week. So we'll keep an eye on it. The lion was getting set up as well and just kind of went flat right there. Didn't really do a whole lot, but I'm telling you what, this thing is set up. LGHL, the line does want to move. It did do a little pullback 20 down to 19. I mean, down a penny. And but yeah, I think it's going to try to roll off here. It looks pretty good. That 20 looks like it wants to curl back up too. So we'll keep an eye on LGHL in the morning, and I'll see what that wants to do as well, but that one should roll off. I would expect it to. XPON down a penny and then up to in the after hours, and that looks like it's probably its bottom. Let's see, XPON. Let me see. That looks like it was a little dip and rip situation down to 222. Opened at 226, highs 253, and it closed at 245. And like I said, got down to 222. And XPON is looking pretty solid to try to roll up. So keep an eye on this. And that 20 is coming down. It's at like 342. But I think this has a little room. It looks like it built a base and wants to try to bounce up. I'll definitely have to keep an eye on that tomorrow because that could get moving. And that Lucid Group, LCID. This one's actually looking pretty solid. It was up 4 cents. It pulled back a penny. And I've been saying this one wants to get moving. We know where its bottom was. It was at 193 on the 15th. You're at 209 LCID. And like I said, Lucid Group, this one is good to go. It wants to run some more. So keep an eye on that. And that UGL is a gold ETF, I believe, if I remember. Yeah, the Ultra Gold 2 timeshares, and we knew it was going to get rolling. We saw it right down here in the 90s. It's back, it's into the 101s, and it's going to continue to go up, UGL. So you keep your eye on that because that one wants to run up, and the gold ones do look really good right there. We can even look at NUG and Dust real quick, NUGT. That is the gold miners index bull 2 times up 31 cents. It just hit a little bit of resistance up here at like 45. It's just about there. Let me take a look at NUGT. Yeah, it's just hitting that resistance. I have a feeling it's going to bust right through this 45 and get into the 46, and then it can jump up to the 49. Might not do it tomorrow, but it's going to set up to do it. And Dust is the opposite, DUST. Gold Miners Index Bear 2 times down 31 cents. And just sitting right there. I don't know. This one does look like it wants to pull back a little bit. So if it pulls back, Nug will go up a little more. It has that look. Yeah, it does look like it was a pullback. Uh, I mean, it doesn't look too healthy. It could jump up a little bit, DUST, but not looking good. Let's put it that way. And that is the Bear Gold. So we will definitely keep an eye on them bad boys as well. And again, that was UGL, DUST, and NUGT. And RUM is Rumble. And this one is looking, it was up 7 cents and it wants to continue its way up. I remember we looked at it not long ago and it was down here. That bottom was on the 18th at 525 and it's at 655 right now. And it looks like it wants to continue its way up. It has some resistance up here around like 7, a little over 7. So you're at 651, so you should continue your way up on there on Rumble, and that's RUM. And let's just keep on flying here. We'll keep on cruising right through the list, and I'll go through what you guys want to look at, and we'll look at our crypto, our big caps, and everything else. So Let's just keep cruising here. WINT. Win. Let's see what that's up to. WINT. It was down 1%, and it's still in the basement. It was trying to get out Thursday, and it bounced back in there on Friday. Let's see what it wants to do here. Just kind of running flat there. Wind's going to get set up. It's just a matter of time. I'll keep an eye on it. The 20's way up at 61. This is in the 50s, but I don't know if it's probably not waiting for that. It was trying to get curled up, and if it all it needs is a little curl up, and it'll get moving. So I'll keep an eye on WINT. We'll see if it can get moving there, and if it can, it'll get cruising. QLGN we were looking at was up 41 cents, even more in the after hours, and looks like it's going to continue to go up. So that one we were looking at and getting cruising. I know we were saying that one was because I had an asterisk next to it, and it looks pretty good to continue its way up to the 50, I would say, at like into the sixes. So QLGN not looking bad right there. And OCGN, let's see what that's up to. It's at 90 cents, pull back a little bit, making that base right there. That bottom was the other day at 85 cents when it pulled back that day. And OCGN, yeah, it's going to get curled up and start moving to 20. And I think it's going to jump up to back to like 97 cents and then have to jump up over that 99 and it'll get cruising again. So just keep an eye on OCGN setting up and it will get cruising. Yeah, it'll definitely get cruising. That 20 and 50 are going to meet up right there, exactly like I just said. And you will see it start to move. And LMFA, that's LM Funding America. And this was pulled back a little bit, but it is trying to set up right there. It's hitting that resistance. Let me just see it in the after hours. Yeah, it's just kind of hitting that resistance right there. It looks like it's going to try to set up and crawl through and get moving. So I don't know if, again, I don't know if it's going to do it tomorrow. I'll keep an eye on this. We'll see if it's getting set up. If not, it'll probably take a little longer to set up because it is going to get bullish. So I'll keep an eye on that LMFA and see what it wants to do right there. MLGO. That was up 3 cents on Friday and curling up and looking good. I remember this was running up a little bit. It went from 17 to 24. And again, the market conditions tomorrow, but it does look solid, but so did CETX. And then you seen what happened with that. So I'm not sure they didn't do a reverse split with this. They did one back in March. So I'm not so sure they'll do it again, but again, just it looks solid, but keep your eye on it because these penny stocks are a little crazy. This is one of them China companies, and it could keep running. So keep your eye on it for the momentum and see which way it wants to go. EYEN, let's see. Let's see what that wants to do right here. That was up 2%. Oh, this one's going to be great. Actually, I remember this one. Keep your eye on EYEN. I Inovia. And it's starting to curl up right now. It started running up on Thursday, 9 to 16, and Friday it went from 14 to 10. And that's where it's at. But again, watch for these dips and keep your eye on it because it is going to start curling up, and there's a lot of room. It pulled way back from, I mean, it was in like the 50-cent range or yeah, it's in the 10-cent range. It was in the 50s not long ago in the beginning of November. So keep your eye on this. EYEN, Inovia, and we'll see if that can get really set up there. And that SKK, remember, it took that huge dip, and I said just watch for that bounce. It's hard to tell exactly what it's going to do tomorrow, but we knew it was going to bounce on Friday. So I know a few of you played it, and it did bounce pretty nice right there for us. So that was really nice. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it'll do tomorrow. We'll have to keep our eye on that SKK, but you play the bounces when you know they're going to happen. And we did SOUN, Soundhound AI. This started to move on Friday and was looking good. And it does look like it wants to continue that momentum and keep going up there. It's at 826. It went from 707 to 849. It's at 826. And it does look like it wants to continue up. I mean, it could pull back there into the sixes, but it is pretty bullish and set up to try to run. And it's looking pretty good long term as well. So that's SoundHound AI Inc. It's a technology software app company, and again, SoundHound's whatever. I was just looking to see if they had anything going on down here. But yeah, I'm telling you, this one doesn't look bad. It did run up. It might get up into the top there, have a little momentum tomorrow. Had over 107 million in volume on Friday. So just keep an eye on it. And it is setting up to be bullish, but it still has some time to set up for that. And but it will bounce around there. MYNZ. Here we go. This one, oh, this one's that one that was down to 20 cents and setting up right there. I would watch for a little bit of pullback. Let me see if what it did in the after hours. It did run 20 to 22 and it's at 21. I'll look at it tomorrow. It's right there. It's starting to get set up. MYNZ. That's another one you're gonna want to keep an eye on right there because it's gonna set up and have a really nice bounce. It's in that spot where they get to and then they bounce off, but it's a quick bounce, as all these penny stocks are. But again, if that's what you're into and you like it, this is definitely for you because keep your eye on it. It will have that bounce off of there. Just look and see if it wants to pull back a little bit more, and I'll keep my eye on it. And if anyone likes it, I'll look at it for you tomorrow because it's getting ready. It's right in that spot. MDAI, let's see that one. That was up 5 cents and trying to curl back up. That bottom looks like it was at 101 area. Yeah, that's what it looks like. MDAI. Let me see. This one's curling up pretty nice right there. I'd say you got a little setup with that one. MDAI and SMX, that's a security company in somewhere in Ireland. Security Matters, SMX, and that one is in the right spot right there at the bottom, looking good. I know we looked at it not long ago and it was just kind of setting up still. Glad someone brought it up to my attention again. It ran up the other day, nothing crazy on the 20th, up to 28 and a half. It's at 23 and a half basically. And this one is going to get set up. It's right there. So keep your eye on SMX because that one's going to be setting up very soon right there. And DG, let's see what that's doing. Dollar General's up a dollar. And this one's curling up. They do have earnings coming up on the 5th, so that'll be next week. So we're good with that this week. And it is looking good, and it's way down there. That bottom was the other day at 72.12. You're at 75, we'll call it. And it does look like it wants to roll up a little more. So keep your eye on Dollar General. It can get up into that 77 area if it wanted to. And that's DG, Dollar General, ASP Isotopes up 63 cents. I remember looking at this, it had been up in the top and came down. And this one is still bullish. It wants to run up into that 890 area and then pull back down a little bit and do it again. So ASPI just going to keep running up. It's curling up. It's looking good. And it should run up some more ASPI. So that one should continue its way up right there. Dollar General looks good. SEER, let's look at that. Sear, that should get up into the top. I just can't. I mean, tomorrow's market conditions will control that one, to be honest. It looks like it wants to roll off and get over this that 244. It's at 243. And I just can't exactly tell. That's SEER. So I'd have to look at that one in the morning. VUZI, let's see what that's up to. And besides, been running up because I know I saw this one on the scanner or somewheres last week, and it did. It ran up pretty good. Let me look at it. VUZI 130 to 175, and it's at 156 right now. And let's take a look. It is jumped up there. I don't know. I mean, it's in the top and it's over the resistance. It looks solid. That one's going to be a market condition one early in the morning. If it's running up, you know it has momentum early and be a quick momentum play for VUZI because it will get up in the top there. It's just about there. I mean, it touched in there. It's just about to get up there and start moving in there. So keep your eye on that for a little momentum in the morning. PLX up 3 cents. I mean, this could run up a little more. I wouldn't personally touch it. It's up at the top. It looks like it's trying to roll up some more, but not something that I would personally be messing with. PLX. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, it's way up there. It's too risky for my look right there. MRNS. Let's see. Now this one's a better look for me. Way down at the bottom, the 20's about to pull it up right there. I like that, especially after we watch them happen all the time. It's curling up, and yeah, MRNS looks much better. I like that one. That looks good. PDYN, that one ran up Friday. I know that. PDYN. Let's see what it's up to now. Yeah, it ran way up there Friday, like over 100%. I remember seeing it. And let's just take a look and see if it wants to continue. I mean, 218 to 505, and it closed at 480. It doesn't look bad. That's just another case of a momentum play in the morning if it wants to stay up there. Almost looks like it does, but over the weekend, they're hard to tell. So you'd have to look at that first thing in the morning, and you'll be able to tell, obviously. If it's running up, and if it's pulling back, I wouldn't mess with it. So keep your eye on that for I it looks like it wants to run up, but it's not a guarantee right there. NVAX, let's see here. Noviax, this one is cruising up right there. That bottom was the other day on November 15th at 681. We're at 843. NVAX. And yeah, it wants to get over that 870 area, it looks like. So watch it hit that 870 area and see if it wants to bounce up over that. And that's NVAX. So that looks like it wants to get moving a little more right there. And ADAP, let's see. ADAP. Oh, this one's curling up really nice. At least it appears to be ADAP. And it looked like it ran 86 or what did it do? Let me see. The 22nd, 86 it opened, then that was a tie, and then it came down to 60, and it's at 60. I mean, it looks really good on mine. I don't know what the heck happened Friday. It jumped around like crazy, but I would keep an eye. I want to look at that one, and that's 80AP. I'm going to take a peek at that in the morning, and let's see what BPTH is up to. BPTH. Here we go. Biopath Holdings. They just had their earnings and it dipped down really good down there to 81. And actually, it's 80. No, it dipped down to 61. I was going to say that's not right. And it's at 80 right now and appears to be curling up that BPTH. I know we looked at this before. This one looks like it's setting up to get moving. So keep your eye on that one. That one looks good. BFRI. Let's see. This was up some. This was up actually pretty good on Friday, and then in the after hours, let's take a look at this BFRI. This one looks really good to continue up. It ran 80 to 129. It closed at 103 and still looks pretty good. So BFRI, I think, has some momentum in it. KULR, let's see what that's up to. KULR, here we go. Um, up 2 cents, up another two. Let me look on mine. I mean, that one's bouncing. It looks like it has good momentum. You're gonna have to be careful when it hits that 50 cent area, and it's like right. It is in the after hours. It's right there. I'd have to look at that one in the morning just because it's hitting that resistance off a weekend. If it wasn't a Friday, I would say I could probably tell you what was going to happen, but being the weekend and it's hitting up there on in the after hours too, that one's just a tough look. KULR. So remind me, I can look at that in the morning because that was on the list. A couple people asked about that, so. It was moving up. It had been in the top, pulled back, and it does look like it wants to cruise up. But again, it ran up in the after hours there, 2.50 cents, and it's hard to give it a look right now. So I'll look at it for you. CLDI. Let's see that guy. That was down a penny. Had some crazy looks right there, trying to set up a new base and try to get moving up higher. I know we looked at this before. It was running up. I'll have to look at. It's pulling back pretty good onto the MACD, and it could just curl off. It could pull back here to the 180s. I'm not exactly sure. Again, has that weird look over the weekend. So CLDI, I would have to look at that tomorrow morning to get a better idea, or tomorrow at some point. I don't think it's going to be bouncing. Let's put it that way. IVDA, it pulled back like 14 cents, but hit that top line and still didn't look bad there. Let me see. Yeah, 229 to 250. So it did run up 216s where it closed, and just kind of like a pullback look, but nothing crazy for IVDA. So I'd keep an eye on that still. IBG, it looks like. Let's see. IBG down 6 cents. This one's a new one and curled out. I'd have to look at this in the morning as well. IBG, just because it's so new, it's pulling back there over the weekend. Maybe it has a little more pullback and is setting up to get more bullish, but the 20 is curled up on it, and it does look like it wants to try to go up. It's just hard to tell if it wants to tomorrow. So we'll have to take a look at IBG as well. And that QMMM, Q with three M's, is QMMM Holdings, and it's a Hong Kong advertising agency. And this one appears that it's trying to curl up. Looks like Thursday was its bottom at 54, and it's back to 75 already. And I'm telling you, this one is going to be curling up. It's going to be one of the bigger fish hooks. It looks like it's trying to get out of the basement right there. So we'll keep an eye on QMMM and see if it is definitely trying to get out of the basement and curl up. It's not, it's showing that it wants to try, but it's not a definite look that it wants to definitely do it. So I'd have to look at that one in the morning. And again, that whole weekend throws some of these off, especially going into a short week. So I have to kind of factor that into it as well. And that's why maybe a little more than most times I'm saying I might have to look at them just to see how the market's going to open on a slower week. And again, it's just the market's been shifting too with these charts getting trying to get back to normal, which is a good problem. That's fine with me. I don't mind looking at them tomorrow to get a better look. So I always say if I, can't get a good look at it, I'll definitely look at it in the morning or tomorrow and let you know. And on Sundays is probably the most time that I have a hard look at them. And again, we're going into a short week. I'll tell you which one just got pretty bullish. Pfizer, though, and that bottom was clearly right here where it dipped down to 24.48 in the 24s. It's only in the 25s. It's going to run up to the 26s. PFE Pfizer, that one looks pretty good, guys. So keep an eye on that bad boy. That one looks like it's bullish. I don't know what they have going on with their drugs. Hope no more COVID stuff. That's for sure. That was all nonsense. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but it is curling up trying to get moving there. So keep your eye on Pfizer if you like it, PFE. And let's look at Ford. And that is the letter F, and it is getting bullish. It did run up on Friday, and it is looking pretty good right there. Good old Ford Motor Company, 1079 to 10 or to 1138, and still looks solid to keep running up. So keep your eye on the letter F, Ford. It gets back over that 1148, exactly where it stuck itself, right? Oh, 1118, that's where it got up to. It got up to 1138. It gets over that 1150 area, it's going to get cruising. So keep your eye on Ford. It's not looking bad right there, that's for sure. And let's look at OPEN, Open Door Technologies. That one ran up 29 cents. I remember we were looking at it last week. It did have that bottom right on the 19th at 152. I don't know what day we were looking at it, but I just remember open, and it definitely opened the doors and got running, and looks like it could keep that momentum to keep going for open. So keep your eye on that. OPEN and Fubo, that is a TV company, Fubo TV. Let's see, that one was just pulling back right there, down 11 cents. And let's see, it was trying to move on Thursday and then hit that wall and came back down. and we'll have to see how that reacts. It could bounce back up, or it could just keep pulling back a little bit more. I'd have to look at Fubo tomorrow, FUBO, and SEDG. Let's see what that's up to. Solar Edge Technologies. And this one looks pretty good. It's getting bullish and up $1.15 and has a lot of room. SEDG, holy cow. This one might be one to take a look at, guys, in the morning. SEDG. You might want to look at that, guys, because that one looks like it's going to get cruising right there. And it ran up to 1190 in the after hours. It got up to 1210, and it looks really solid. SEDG. So keep an eye on that solar edge because it is looking good. I would say it's trying to move, that's for sure. So we'll keep an eye on that bad boy. And let's look at American Airlines, AAL. This one's not looking bad either. It looks like it wants to get back up into the top up here. And I remember this was on the list before, way down there too. I mean, this is way up considering we were looking at it and it was always in the tens and now it's in the 14. So if you were buying it back there when we were looking at it, and I even had it on the list there for a while and took it off, but it might be pulling back right now. It's hard to tell. It actually looks like it might just be doing that curl back to rip up there. I'd have to look at that tomorrow as well, but yeah, that's been continuously going up, American Airlines. And it wants to get up to that $15 area, and it's at 14 in the 1430s. So there you go with AAL. And NVD is the opposite of NVIDIA. It's that 2 times short. And let's see what it wants to do. It was up $1.85, and it does look good. It looks like that bottom was at 25, and it looks curled up. So NVIDIA might have to come down, huh? Because NVD is looking good. So let's just look at NVIDIA while we're at it real fast, just to curious. Well, look, it was down 472 and looks like it might be coming down some more, and then it'll be getting super bullish. So we'll look at all of them in a minute, and I can look at NVD when we do that again. But I'm telling you, NVD is looking good, and we had traded that one before. Good old NVD. NXD, what is that? Was that what I even wrote? Looks like that's what I wrote. NXD. I don't know what that is. There's an NXDT, which is nothing that we want to look at, some real estate company. So I don't know what I was writing there, but MSTZ, that is the MicroStrategy inverse. And this one is way down. So this one is the bull one, or I'm sorry, this one's the bear one, the inverse. And it's at 94 cents, 89 cents in the after hours, which means MicroStrategy just keeps going up. But this thing's in the basement. It's going to have to reverse, guys. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it and see when it has to reverse. It's starting to look like it might. So we might have to look at that as well when we take a look at MicroStrategy MSTZ. And we'll compare them bad boys. Let's look at that KORU. That was looking good. That South Korean bull. I was gonna say North Korea. Yeah, like we're trading North Korean stocks on our stock exchange. That would be great. So the South Korea one, and it's the bull one, and it's at 499, and this thing looks like it wants to get cruising too. KORU. I wonder what the opposite would be, but it's crossed through and looks like it wants to run up to that 533 area. So keep an eye on KORU, and it's the ETF for the Dowie, South Korea bull 3 times, and it is looking pretty good right there. And MDJH, let's see what MDJM Ltd is doing in the basement down here. If it's going to move, dip down a little more on Friday. Almost looks like a dip and rip situation on MDJH. Oh, let me put that D in there. MDJH. Here we go. And yeah, it does honestly look like a little dip and rip. It looks like it's trying to curl up and looks much better there. So not bad for MDJH. So keep an eye on that. That could be a little dip and rip. And MRTZ, let's see what that's up to. MRTZ, I don't even know. I wasn't familiar with that one. I'm not sure what that one was. If anyone knows, let me see if it comes up on mine. MRTZ. A futures or something. I don't even know what that is. Something crazy there. So yeah, I don't know what that is. Anyway, we'll look at that one. I don't know what that one was supposed to be. And I'm just gonna keep on cruising because it's right after 10, and I'll get through the rest of the list, and then I'll go through and see what you guys want to see, and we'll bang out crypto and big caps real quick, and we can end it early. There's a Sunday night game on. It's the Eagles and the Rams, and I think I said it was 13-7, the Eagles. I was meant to say it, and then they took the score down, so I think it did say that. I'll look and see when it comes back up and keep you posted on that as well. But here we go. I'll just keep on cruising through. Here comes our laptop list, but there's also some other ones that I added in there. So let's keep on cruising. And you know that a lot of these are going to be really set up here. I didn't take a look at them this week yet, and some of them look different, but I guarantee they're looking good. Laptop Travel has his scanner set really good there. So here we go. Let's look at ABLV, Able View Global, and that's at 90 cents, curling up right there. And all it has to do is jump over that 90-cent area, and it's going to get really cruising. I would say you got a runner right there for tomorrow, guys. So keep your eye on that one. And AVGR, let's take a look at that. That's up 4 cents. And then I think you got another one just popping right off that 20 right there. AVGR. Here we go. And yeah, that one wants to run up to like 91. It's at 86. So that one wants to get moving. BNOX. Is that what I wrote? I have no idea. Oh yeah, yeah. We looked at this. Okay. BNOX. Hold on. BNOX. Up a penny. And this one's curling up right here. Let me see. Trying to see what it looks like. Yeah, that one's about to roll off and get cruising, guys. So BNOX. Um, BRLT. Let me see what that's doing. And again, almost all of these are going to be set up and really good for you. This was up 7 cents and another 13, and still looks like it wants to run. BRLT. Let's see. Yeah, that one looks like it's going to be a momentum play and run into the 180. So all of these so far looking good. I believe it's CHRO is the next one. CHRO, Channel Therapeutics. Let's see that bad boy curling up right there. Looking really good. CHRO. And another one. That one's about to cross through and get running. So, I mean, every single one so far. Let's look at our buddy Edible Garden, EDBL. And this one is just a little bit flat, but getting in the right spot, EDBL. So let's take a look. Yeah, that one's about to roll. So another one. I just got to put a dot next to all these. FRSX. Let's see what Foresight Anonymous Holdings is doing. It's finally curling up right in between that channel. And that one wants to get moving. FRSX. Let's see. It's right in that channel. If it doesn't get popping up, it wants to get over that 67-cent area, and it will get rolling. So keep an eye on that FRSX. It could just be in that channel for a day or so. HYZN, this is one we had looked at before, and this one's getting to be in the right spot. It's running up here ever so slightly. Its bottom was right here at 129. You're at 165, and it's right there. So just keep an eye if it wants to pull back at all, but it is right there to try to move. And good old JagX, let's see what the Jaguar's doing. That looks like it's curling up right there off that 20. It's at 104. And let's see, good old JagX. And that one is curling up too. And again, watch for that 103 area as resistance. But JagX curling up, looking pretty good for that. KAPA. Let's look at that. KAPA up 10 cents. This one's curling back up. It just run up into the top. It came back down and wants to curl. I have to keep an eye on this. My chart says it's pulling back a little bit. Finviz still makes it look like it wants to curl up, but I believe that it would pull back. That's why I was saying it still wants to curl up there. I was kind of surprised by that initial look. Mine looks like it would probably be a little more accurate at the moment. So, I'll definitely trust the trend spider on that one, just because immediately when I looked at it, I was like, huh, that doesn't look normal, but whatever, I'll go with it. And it wasn't normal. So there you go with KAPA. And let's just take a look at KIRK, good old Captain Kirk. It's Kirkland's, and it's a home improvement retail up 6 cents. And this one's curling up right there. Let me take a look at good old Kirk and see what he's doing. Oh yeah, Kirk's doing all right there, huh? He wants to get into the 180s. He's at 165. So keep an eye on Kirk, KIRK, because that is looking good as well. And this KWE, I know we looked at this last week for somebody. I think maybe Green Thumbs or somebody, and it was setting up, guys. It was up 7 cents the other day, and I'm telling you, this thing might pop off tomorrow. And I know a couple of yous were in it because yous were talking about it. 80 to 97 on Friday and back to 75. I didn't even see it pull back there, but it still looked good. Um, at the end of the day, I'd have to look at it now tomorrow morning, see if it can pop back up over that 83 again. So I'll look at that, but it did jump up there on Friday. I remember looking at it and seeing that and hoping that people were locking them in. And the lottery.com LTRY, this one was up a penny. And let's see, I've traded this one before. This one ran well over 100% a few times for me. LTRY, that bottom was back here on November 4th at 22 cents or at 34. And it does want to curl up and get into the 40s. So keep your eye on that LTRY, the good old lottery.com. And MMV, let's see what that's up to. Multi Metaverse Holdings up 3 cents. And this one's curling up and looking good. Should get right over that 44 cent. Did pull back, it looks like, in the after hours. Let me see. 39 cent. Nah, not really. Yeah, it should get right over that 44 and try to bump off of that. So keep an eye on that MMV. That's not looking bad. And Mobac or MOBX. What is this? Mobix Lab. That's it. Up 15 cents, down a penny in the after hours, but this one should keep its momentum right there. MOBX. I think you might still have a momentum play right there, but it did run up Friday. And OTRK. OTRK pulled back a little bit, sitting in a good spot right there. Let me see. OTRK, hold on. Right there in a good spot. Yeah, it is. I would keep an eye on this bad boy. That one's in a really good spot right there to try to get set up. So I'm gonna mark that and mark that there because that is in a really good spot. That one could pop off good. RDT, I think is RDJ, I think I have. RDJ, maybe not that either. RD something, maybe not. I'm not even sure what that one is. Laptop travel, if you want to let me know. I don't see that one, but SBET. Let me see that guy because that's SharpLink Gaming, SBET, SBET SharpLink Gaming, and this one's setting up really good right there. It was up 4 cents, down four, but I'll tell you what, that bad boy's looking good at 65 and closed at 60. I mean, that looks good on me. Um, Keep your eye on that S bet because that S bet's going to be a good bet right there to jump up. So keep your eye on that bad boy. Let's look at snacks SNAX because there were some good snacks the other day. It's continuing its way up. We were in it. We saw it down here at the bottom, and here we go at snacks. We did. We saw it on the 8th. It dipped down to like 70 cents and you're sitting at 96 right now and getting moving. So there you go. We said they were going to be good snacks, and they are, and that's cruising. Let's look at SOPA, SOPA. That's Society Pass, and that one's setting up in the right spot too. SOPA. Yeah, that one looks really good as well. Laptop Travels list is really on point. SRM, I believe. Let's take a look at this one. Like you could take any of these and trade them smart and have a some kind of winner. You know, maybe it don't go 100%, but you could lock it in anywhere from 5 to wherever it goes. Percent gains with no problem. SRM just pulling back a hair. Let me see this one real quick. It was trying to run up in that channel. I'd have to take a look at SRM. That's probably the worst looking one out of them all, and that's not even that bad. So SST, Let's take a look at this one. That's at System 1. We were looking at it and it ran up 8 cents. We were looking at it last week and it was looking really good. SST, and it's about to keep cruising. So that should be a momentum play. SXTP, that's like a 60 degrees something. Hold on, I forget. I just saw it too and clicked off of it. 60 degrees pharmaceuticals is what it is. It was up 2 cents, up two more, trying to curl up right there. Looks real good. I mean, it's just pulling back, but I would imagine it trying to curl off. I'd have to look at that one tomorrow just to make sure, but I could imagine that's trying to roll off of there. SYBX. Yep, that's what I wrote. SYBX up 2 cents. That looks like it's curling up right there. Let me confirm that. Yeah, that crossed through. It looks like it ran through that channel. You're gonna see that at like 143 and 146. It went 145 to 147 down to 142, and it closed at 143. Just watch it bounce around a little bit, but that's gonna be popping. Because I bet your 20 and your 50 come meeting together, and they'll be popping it off real quick, like basically like a spring. It'll look real good. SYPR. Let's look down 2 cents and let's see what's happening. Just pulling back could be right there in the right spot too. All that 20 has to do is curl it up. Looks like it could. I'd have to look at that one tomorrow as well. But let's look at what is that? SYPR, TIRX. Let's see that one real quick. TIRX. That one's trying to get moving. Let me just take a look and see what it did in the after hours. Yeah, that one's hitting the line. I can see that one getting right over that 178. It's at 177 right now. Literally has to go up like a penny or two, and it can bounce right off of that. So I would take a look at TIRX. That one's setting up right there. And good old T-Pet, we were looking at this a few weeks ago, and we were saying right after the split, we took a look, and I was saying that could be the bottom. Thursday was. Friday it started moving. It ran 118 to 135. I know we were looking at it. And yeah, it's curling up and getting cruising 117 to 159, as low as 113. It closed at 138, and it's going to be cruising around T-Pet, and that's at Trio Petroleum. We were definitely looking at that and watching it pull back, honestly. UONE, that Urban one we were looking at gets set up, and that one's looking pretty good. UONE. So keep an eye on that. Wants to run up to that 155 and get cruising. It's at 148 right now. So that one looks really good as well. Keep your eye on that. And VKTX is that Viking one. We did that one just earlier. I already know that, so we won't bother. VRAR. Let's look at Glimpse Group and take a glimpse because that one is up 7 cents on Friday and running. And I know we looked at that one as well last week and knew that was going to be moving. So that should continue its way and get past that 71 and really pop off. So watch that for some momentum. We were looking at it. XTLB, let's see what that's up to. XTLB up 5 cents. Oh, this one's curling up really good, guys. Made a really nice base real quick and just started curling up, rolling off. I would say you're gonna get up to that 20, like over $2. It's at 188. Says it pulled back a little in the after. Well, no, well, it says 188 there. And but yeah, that one XTLB, that one's rolling off and getting moving. RCAT, this one is was moving last week. And this one we had looked at, it's way in the top. I would say that's more a momentum play and look at it early and see if it's running up, but be careful because it's way up there. And that's RCAT. TTOO. This one I threw on because we were looking at it and it popped up 8 cents. I know we were saying it was looking good to go and it started moving, and you're probably going to keep running up on that one, TTOO. I've seen this one, HURA. And this one was looking pretty decent. I don't know what it was up to, but it was up 41 cents and down 7, but it was popping off that bottom. It looked like that bottom was at that 293. It's at 376. And this is HURA. And yeah, it's making a nice curl up. So keep your eye on this thing because it looks pretty good right there to try to move. And Tilray looks great, guys. TLRY. I just did the cannabis videos, the High on Wall Street. This thing is curling up. It looks amazing. I'll tell you that. TLRY. So keep your eyes on Tilray because it is looking really, really good right there. And they're buying up all kinds of micro breweries right now. They've been doing it. They have all the craft beers and the cannabis in Canada. They're just kind of taking a gamble, I guess. But I'll tell you what, their stock chart's setting up to look really good there. So keep an eye on TLRY and SOBR. Let's look at that one real quick. Sober Safe up 36 cents. I remember looking at this. I don't remember how long ago, but it wasn't too long ago. And this one's curled through and going to get running, guys. So keep your eye on that as well. Tilray, SOBR, all looking good right there. And how about our Austin Gold? I think that's what it's called, AUST, Austin Gold. And this one's going to curl back. Oh, what the heck just happened there? The thing just changed? That was really weird. Um, I must have hit something. Yeah, I hit something. That's why I changed the chart. I knew something went weird. I hit the 15-minute chart and it got really weird looking at for me. I don't like to see that. Anyway, that's what it was. But anyway, here we go. Austin Gold AUST. I remember we were in this way down here in like the dollar range, and it ran up to it got pretty wild, ran up to three. We're in the twos. And it does look like it wants to continue to run up AUST. So keep an eye on that Austin Gold Corp because it's looking pretty good right there to continue running up. And it did run up for us before, and it looks good to do it again. And there you go with them bad boys. Let me go ahead and see what you guys want to see real quick, and then we'll hit our crypto and our big caps, and we'll wrap it up for our Sunday night and get back to it tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for pre-market. You know that. WTO is looking good. I already know that because we went over it. I'll tell you what, EJH was looking even better, but WTO wasn't looking bad. It was up a penny, down a penny in the after hours, but this one looked pretty good. Um, and again, WTO not looking bad. It's in that channel between 37 and 32. If it can get over that 37, get to like 38, it can jump up to that 43. And that EJH was looking really good there to get moving. So rolling off, I remember seeing that one. Here we go. Let me see. HIMS, Jennifer Lee. How are you this evening? Hims, this one's been jumping up a lot lately. I know that. HIMS. So let's see what Hims and hers of health are doing. It's rolling back up there. It came back down to that support and its bottom was 19.29. We're back at 25.33. It ran up $1.18, and it does look like it wants to run back up to that 29 area for Hims. HIMS. Oh, yeah, that one looks really good right there, huh? I would say HIMS. Keep an eye on that one. HIMS. Hims and hers. Looking good there, Jennifer Lee. I like that one. And MBLY. Let's see what that's up to. MBLY. Let's see, Mobileye Global. Oh, this one looks really good. It's been running up. It's bullish and it's moving there. So let me just see the numbers on my chart here. 1738 to 1814. It closed at 1804. You're gonna roll up. You got a momentum play right there. That one's solid too. I would say in the morning. That one should be moving up. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be. So there you go. They're two beauties right there, Jennifer Lee. I like them. SMTK. Let's take a look at that one real quick. SM. Hold on. SMTK. Here we go. Smart Chem up 10 cents. And this one is trying to curl up. It's hitting that resistance there on its 50. Let me just take a better look at SMTK. Yeah, I mean it looks like it wants to get up to that 340 area. It's at 320 and it could easily do it. SMTK, keep an eye on it. And if it does pull back, it is pretty bullish to try to move. It's just a hard look for that one tonight, but I can look at that one for you too tomorrow morning, Jennifer Lee. And here's a couple more you have, huh? That's nice. QMCO, I like it. I know we've looked at this Quantum Corp and it's been rolling. This was a Luis Rodriguez one before he brought this up and it just started flying up and it's in the top right there. I could imagine this thing running more in the morning. I mean, it did get nutty from 4:15 to 11:45 because it ran up in the after hours some more, and it's at 1090 right now. But I could see it trying to run up some more right there, QMCO. But that one you definitely have to be careful with. Make sure that it is definitely running up in the morning. QSI, let's see that one. Quantum Psych Incorporated. This one's going to run into the top and be a nice momentum play for tomorrow. So I would keep an eye on that. It did run up on Friday, 122 to 179. It's at 165. And again, it does look like it wants to get into the top and run up a little bit more. So I think that will run a little higher tomorrow. PDYN, I know we did that one. It was run up there. I think this one's going to run up in the top tomorrow too. It has that look like it wants to stay up there and run. The Eagles game is 20 to 14. The Eagles are beating the Rams, and it is the third quarter with like 9 minutes left. And yeah, PDYN does look like it wants to continue. It has that look like it wants to keep stay in the top and keep moving up there. And it was a heck of a run the other day. And that QBTS we had looked at before, someone had brought this one up a while ago, and we were looking at it down here in the dollar range. It's at 324 right now, and that's at D Wave Quantum and all these computer hardware things. We were super early on them, and they all ran up like crazy. And that one went from 214 to 330 up to 317. That one could continue to run into the top. Just be careful with that one. It depends on how they open, but that one has momentum. It looks like it, but it's not a definite for that. So there you go, Jennifer Lee. I hope that helps with them bad boys. Can we take a look at TGT? Is that Target? TGT is Target. And that dipped really nice. Oh, we have to watch Target, huh? TGT. Oh yeah, that's a beauty. I didn't even know it dipped so good when I how it had earnings, huh? I'm telling you, that's why this thing. Okay, so on here, let's go through it real quick because its earnings were on the 20th. Clearly, yeah, at the 19th it looked all weird. So we're just gonna go through this chart real quick. Target TGT on the 19th, it hit that resistance, had that weird look. It could have went either way. I would have been like, I have no idea what the hell this wants to do. The next day were the earnings. It dipped down pretty good because I mean it closed at 156 and then it opened at 128. I mean you're talking a pretty big dip there. So yeah, and then its high was 129 and then on Thursday at 122 to 124 and on Friday, 121 to 125. So it is coming out of the basement right there, curling back up. And I think Target's a solid one right there. So I think you're on to something right there. And I'm gonna have to put TGT down too, because I like it. I didn't even know it had that dip, but it is pretty bullish up there. And Luis Rodriguez will definitely get the SMCI. I promise that one right there. And let me just go through these and we'll roll right through them bad boys real quick. Um, Let's see. WorldCoin, I'll have to look up that one. I'm not sure what is WorldCoin. I'm not even sure what WorldCoin is. If I put in world, would it come up? USD? I don't see. I have to look up and see what that one is. Here we go. It's not even the fact that the trade is free, it's the fact that you're trading a fee on the front end for payment for order flow on the back end. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like I say, you kind of had to put up like almost 20 to $30 per trade. And so you aren't trading these penny ones, that's for damn sure. not unless you were ponying up a bunch of money. I mean, you weren't going to get in it with $100 and have a $30 trading fee. And now today you can kind of make trades with literally essentially zero trading fee. I mean, it's a little bit here and there, and it also depends on the level of your plat or your account, I guess, with your platform, whatever your platform does. I like I said, I think Robinhood's pretty cheap for all around. I don't know if it matters how much you have in your account. E-Trade, I think you have to have so much in your account, and then they give you basically like free trades, like as many as you want. And but yeah, it just made a big difference. I was talking about that earlier. And I agree. It is. I mean, you are essentially just paying a less fee somewheres, and that's why I've learned that the futures are so big, way bigger than the options because that premium fee, exactly basically what you're talking about, is way less in futures than it is on options. So on options, you do have to pay a premium. In futures, apparently it's way cheaper, and that's why they seem to be the end all be all that people get into and stick with. So, like I said, I'm sure we'll be into that sooner than later, but let's we'll crush the options first and crypto, and then we'll get in the futures later. So there you go. But yeah, that's essentially it. The premiums are like gone now. It's kind of crazy. And it just kind of opened the floodgates. And I think the Eagles just scored a touchdown. So there you go with that. And MSTU, that is the Luis Rodriguez, isn't that the MicroStrategy two yeah, MicroStrategy, the two-time long MSTR Dow ETF. And I mean, that thing was way up there, jumped up the other day. You thought it was coming down. And now it does look like it's trying to run back up, but it was up $4 in the after hours. You just can't really tell coming off the weekend, to be honest with you, with that MSTU. And we'll definitely get the SMCI for sure. VRPX, let me see, Jonathan. VRPX. Veerpax Pharmaceuticals. This one ran up Friday, but look, let me see this on mine because that has a weird look. VRPX. Yeah, that's a strange one. Looks like it's pulling back to me. It ran up on Thursday, 66 to 129, and then Friday, 113 to 121, and came down to 49, and it's at 50. Um, and I don't know if it really has that bounce look, to be honest with you. So I might have to look at that tomorrow just to take a look and see what it's doing for you. If you remind me on that VRPX. So just let me know. And let me see if there's any more sober. I know we got to them. I'll hit FET when we do crypto real quick. QUBT, let's look at that and Lunar, and then we'll get to the other ones real fast. QUBT is that quantum computing. Oh, yeah, this one shot up to another one up at the top, ran up another 32 cents. All these computer hardware, I'm telling you, we saw all of these bad boys early, and they ran up like crazy. So yeah, QUBT, hard to tell if it's going to be still running up in that top tomorrow. It looks like it wants to, but after the weekend, just look at it in the morning. If it's got momentum, you know which way it's going and make it quick just in case. Lunar. Aerospace and defense. We said it was going to go lunar. I think down here in what, the tens? It's in the 15s right now, and it's still going down, still going up, I mean. So LUNR, there you go with that bad boy. That one did go lunar. I forget where we said it. I think I even posted it right there. And that one is going up some more. We did the WTO. We got all them bad boys. Let me see. XPON, what did I say that was going to do? Bounce off that bottom, maybe? Let me see. Had a weird look at that bottom. Let me see what mine was doing. I don't really remember. Um, yeah, I mean, it looked like Friday was its bottom at that 222, and it wants to roll off. So I'd have to look at it, but it looks like it does want to roll off, and that was its bottom right there. And let me bust through our big caps and our crypto real quick and see what's going on with that, and then we can wrap it up for our Sunday night. And like I said, we'll be back on 7 a.m. tomorrow morning for pre-market, so we know exactly how the week's opening for our short Thanksgiving week. So here we go. Let's get cruising through the SPY, see how it closed on Friday. It was up $1.84, up more in the after hours. And Had that weird look on Thursday and jumped back up on Friday. We thought it was going to be a green day on Friday. That's what we said go on Thursday night. I know that. So let's just take a look at GameStop, see what that's going to do. Oh, let me look at the SPY on mine real quick. But yeah, it's crawling up unless it hits that line and bounces down hard tomorrow. That's what we're looking at. If it doesn't and it gets into the top, these things are going to start moving again. So yeah, we're gonna be watching the Spy hardcore tomorrow for sure because it's hitting that line, and I think it should continue its way up there. Let's look at GameStop. That was up 8 cents, and it looks like that one wants to curl back into the top again and keep moving. So we'll keep our eye on it. Mine looks like a little healthy pullback there, nothing crazy. And let's look at AMC. I'm telling you, they got something crazy going on. I'm telling you right now. It was up 6 cents. It's at 455, and it wants to get rocking and rolling. I don't know what the heck they have going on, but like I said, it just says like three movies are hitting the theater. I don't think that's what's happening here. They definitely have something happening. So AMC, I told you I got my options the other day when it was low, and boom, I'm waiting for this thing to just jump. It was down in like the 420s, and I thought that was good, and it's in the 450s, and I'm telling you, this thing's gonna rock and roll, and I don't know why. So keep your eyes on AMC right there. If it's going to be tomorrow, I don't know, but it's definitely setting up to do something there. Chewy was pulling back, trying to come out of the top. I'd be careful. They have their earnings coming up next week on the 4th, and it did run up there. So just be careful with Chewy, and we'll reevaluate that one. NVDA, NVIDIA down. We were looking at that NVD. It did look good. NVIDIA does look like it wants to come down to like the 135, but again, it's going to shoot back up when these hit that bottom, they're going to be perfect to get into because they're all going to just shoot up like crazy. So that's NVD, and again, NVDA, Nvidia, and NVD does look pretty good to continue up. That's the ETF to short Nvidia. So let's look at Apple AAPL. That was up $1.35. I've been saying it looks good. I told you I had options on that one. It should continue its way up, I think, this week, and it does look really good. So watch for Apple to keep popping up there. And I think it's going to try to get up to that 235 right there. So keep an eye on Apple. Google, Alphabet, that was down 267. We're just letting it pull back there, setting up, and then we'll let that catch we'll catch that on the way back up for GOOG. And good old Amazon, seeing a million of them vans around now. They're going to be out like crazy, and let this pull back right here to 195. It's at 197, and this thing's going to set up. So that's Amazon AMZN. So just let it pull back a hair. Like I said, yeah, like 195, 193, and then that thing's going to set up and get bullish as well. And Meta, META, this pulled back a little bit, and another one. Let it pull back a little. They were way up, and this thing's going to get back into the 600s. I'll tell you when they're ready. They're just pulling back. Apple's the one that looks good and is moving. There's a few other ones that look real good, and we're about to hit a couple. Tesla's always looking good, keeps going up. It looks like it wants to crawl back into the top and run some more. So just keep your eye on Tesla. It gets in the top. Take a look at them TSLL because that's the bull two times. And if it gets into the top and runs some more, you're in good shape. And so there you go with Tesla. That's how you play that bad boy. And also, let's look at good old Nike. That was up 230 to 77.40, bounced off. We were looking at it. That bottom was on Thursday at 72.71. We're back to 77. Remember, we said we're going back up to 80 and then 85. It's on its way right there for NKE. Rivian's been setting up RIVN. So just keep your eye on us up 22 cents. And I'm telling you, the thing is just setting up, curling up, and getting ready to rock and roll. So keep your eye on Rivian as well because it wants to run. I'm telling you, it's good. It's looking really, really good right there. So that one looks real nice. Let me see where you at right there. PLTR, this one's just being an animal up there, and it looks like it wants to run even higher. So as I say, be careful, and if it's up there and you want to chase it as a momentum play, best of luck, but I don't like them at the top. I know they do run, people love them. I like them to go up. So on their way up, I mean, I won't say up, go up because these go up. I just like them at the bottom going up. I feel a little more comfortable, but that's PLTR. And of course, Sophie's doing the same thing, just running up at that top. So keep your eye on that for a momentum. Dell, who said that was going to be bullish, ran up like $5 Friday, another dollar in the after hours, and it's getting towards the top. And we were just talking about it. So there you go. And again, we're gonna pick out the ones that are just like perfect, like how Apple's great. You're about to hit one in 2 seconds. Remember Snow? That one ran way up on Thursday and Friday. Remember, I was telling you guys that one was super bullish. And bam, that one ran up like crazy. That one may have to pull back, but that was a great one. Here's your next one right here. AMD setting up, looking beautiful, Luis Rodriguez. Telling you right now, AMDL, take a look at that tomorrow. So, is that what it is? I just guessed. I didn't guess. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. AMDL, the grand shares, two-time long AMD Dow ETF. Take a look at that bad boy in the morning, guys, because that's what you want to be looking at. That thing's setting up really good as well. And yeah, we're gonna pick out the ones that you have the best opportunity to move like that. And AMD is looking really good. It got beat up, it came down and setting up and looking good there. So you know it's gonna get moving very, very soon. AMD QCOM, that was up $1.33. And this one's another one. Came down to that bottom $1.56. We just waited that patience and just stayed patient, waiting for it to tell us that it wants to go. It should start to really curl up tomorrow, and that one will be a good one because you're going to get right back up to 164 and try to pop up even more. It is still setting up, so we'll watch it. But yeah, that one's going to be a good one. Another one that came down. You catch them when they come down, they get back set up. PayPal's going back up 86.77, and this one looks like it's pretty bullish and wants to run up there. Let me check mine real fast. But PayPal is looking pretty good right there. PYPL, yeah, that looks like it's going to roll up there and keep moving. So that looks like you're going to have a runner. And here you go, SMCI. This one's going to continue to move up in the morning. It should anyway, up to that $38 area is what it looks like. So keep an eye on SMCI. It, like I said, it should continue to move up there, and that should be pretty good. So keep your eye on that. And I mean, we nailed that one completely in like the 18 area, and it's at 33. So them options were paying like nutty. And what were they? SMC, what the heck is it? I can't even think. Um, was that a P and L? I forget what the heck it is. I don't even remember what theirs are, but Super Micro SMCI looking beautiful right there. And I mean, was a beauty right there and looking like it wants to go up. Intel's getting ready to, I think, get cruising. We just have to see if it wants to pull back a little bit, but it is getting set up here. It's right there where it can get popped up. So I'll keep an eye on that tomorrow as well because it is getting set up. Good old Disney doing usually what we always say, and it's at 115 and it's moving. We said it was going over 100 and it went up to 115. So we were back into like the 90s in that area, 95s, and said it was going to go up to 100 with no problem. And Oxy, this thing is setting up, guys, up 39 cents. It looks great. It's setting up in the right spot right there. Keep an eye on Oxy. OXY. Does this happen to have a an ETF at all? I don't even know. I have to look that up. I'm not even sure, but that looks really good. It's going to get moving, and that is oil and gas. And Exxon Mobil XOM was down 14 cents. It's just setting up another one. The 20 and 50 are meeting, and this thing's pretty bullish as well. But that Oxy looks even better. Mara, MARA, this went up another $1.85. Wants to keep running to the top. These things are just wild, guys. So just watch them. They're great momentum plays. They run all over the place. They are going to have to come back pretty soon, though. I'm telling you. You just don't know exactly when, but they will pull back. Riot's getting ready to rip and roll again off of that $12 area and really get cruising. So keep your eyes on Riot because that'll be a good one. You know that one's going to be a runner. And what else do we have here? MSTR. Let's see what our MicroStrategy's doing, up $24 the other day. And it looks like it wants to get back in the top. It was up in the after hours. We're gonna have to see how it opens, but it looked pretty solid. We'll go through crypto, see how that looks in a minute. And CLSK, let's look at Clean Spark up $2 and another one getting ready to bounce up into the 17. So keep an eye on CLSK. And Coinbase up $9. This thing's about to curl back up and get cruising again. So that one's CONL is the ETF, but yeah, it looks like it's gonna roll right off that MACD and get running up again. So CONL, that is the Granite shares. It was up 328 and it's up some more, and it looks like it wants to start running some more. So that is the Coinbase ETF right there, CONL. And DJT, this one's getting set up, guys. I'm telling you, this one's gonna get rocking and rolling. You see the 20s curling down, and that 20 and when that 20 and 50 meet in like a week, couple weeks, it's going to get wild. So keep your eye on it. It's trying to curl up there. And if it doesn't, if it just jumps up over that 34, it's going to really get crazy because it's going to curl that 20 up and make it really push it. So DJT should set up to get good. PHUN was getting fun the other day. It's curling up. It's looking pretty good right there. Let me see it on mine. PHUN, it's curling up and looking fun. I'm telling you, they're going to get moving. MTN, that Val was up another $3 to 184. Remember, we were looking at it in like the 170s down here. So there you go. I told you that thing was going to get great Val, and it's looking great. MTN, it's going to continue to run up some. McDonald's, I was keeping an eye on. I think that was its bottom on Thursday. Remember, we were looking at it. 283, you're at 290. You should start to move up to that 294 and try to get moving some more on MCD McDonald's. So keep an eye on that. That could be a mover as well. Could be a Big Mac. And how about Boeing with BA right here? It was up 588. I don't even know how, but it was. And it looks like it's going to hit that resistance at 151 and pull back. So I don't know if Boeing's really getting crazy, but it did curl up and it does look pretty good on mine. It is an aerospace and defense, and they've all been looking good. So we'll have to go through them again. And SPCE space, I'm telling you, this thing's about to go to space soon. And another aerospace and defense, but it's curling through and looking great. And there you go. I'll go through and do our crypto and answer any more questions. So let me know if you guys want to see anything, and let me roll right in and see what our crypto's doing real quick. Bitcoin, BTC, USD. I can just do it right here. And that one is, I'm telling you, it's gonna have to come down. I have to look at it on my I like this app too. It's at 97,899, so it's just under 98,000. And it does. It literally looks like it's about to come down, guys. So it's either gonna have to hit that line and roll back up and go higher or come back down. And Ethereum 3,361. And this one is rolling back up, but it's I don't know. It might be pulling back down too. I mean, we're probably gonna have to look at them tomorrow morning. We will as well, but just to get a better look and see what happens tonight. Solana's at 252. It did pull back there. It's coming down. I don't know if they're ready to come down. I'm telling you, these ones are so hard because they'll stay up here forever. And that's the hardest part about crypto. Cardano's at 101, way up there. Doge is at 42 and way up there too. And it looks like it's coming down. And again, it could easily just roll right off. It's so hard to tell with these bad boys. So I can't tell you that they're definitely pulling back because, again, they just do crazy things that you'll never see a stock do. WIF is at 316. That did curl through coming down, but it'll curl right back up. And let's look at that Floki real quick. FLOKI. And that one is pulling back. And again, that one just got released. We thought it was going to come down. And it is. It's hitting the line. Maybe it tries to roll off. I'll keep an eye on it. Let's see what Bonk's doing. BONK. And that one is pulling back a little bit there. And again, coming down. And they could easily roll off and go even higher. I'm telling you, these things are crazy. Crypto is wild things. And let's look at SEI. This one was cruising this morning. It's up 6 cents. It's up to 63. And you could have a runner right here. So if you're looking at one, it's just getting into the 70. SEI is an altcoin. That one is moving right there. And FET, I said that one the other day. It's at 150, and that one's moving right now. So them two are altcoins just cruising along. And let's look at good old Sheeb because that was down earlier. It's down a little bit, and it was just kind of crawling through coming down. Let me see. It's like right there. They could easily pop back up tomorrow morning and get cruising like animals again. So I don't think there's anything crazy with them, to be honest with you. We'll keep an eye on them for sure. And let me just look at Ripple because I missed that one. XRP is right there at 140. And it is. Oh, it's way up there. And again, just in the 70, could easily just be pulling back to go up higher. So they are crazy crypto. And like I said before, that's the hardest part is trying to tell where they top out and where they're coming down because they run up there so much it's insane. They can run up there for 3 months. Stocks just can't do it, and that's why crypto is amazing. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So if you're not in it, sign up for a Coinbase account because it is wild and it's just getting started. And like I was telling you before, Trump will make America the crypto capital of the world, and it will be crazy. And I was saying it before the election even happened, and he won. And I knew, and we obviously were pretty gun ho that he was a landslide for 3 months. So wasn't really much of a question. You could see what was happening. And there you go. So I hope everybody enjoyed that Sunday night. I hope you guys had a great weekend. And we'll get ready tomorrow morning for our pre-market. Thanks for everyone hanging out. RD, Lewis Rodriguez, Elena, Jennifer Lee, and Crypto Bitmag, and Wintermute. How are you? And Dodge Mama 9, Bong Prichan, and Brian J. Kratz, DTM. Ding Dong, BK, Buddy, Randy, Christian, Bruce Love, X-Man, Scott. I don't even know what that says. I am Legend. There you go. And Sean, let me just make sure I got everybody's messages real quick. Let me just check. Laptop Travel, you too. Space, he said that he thinks they will have to have another offering before they can go up much more. They cannot sell seats until 2020. I don't know what's going on, but it looks like it's about to run up. It could just be because they're aerospace and defense. So I think it's going to get a little pop going. And yeah, I don't know what's happening. Maybe they'll throw an offering out after it pops up and they'll drop the price. But looks like that one wants to cruise. And hold on, Jennifer Lee has a couple more good ones. So let me check them out. Mr. Deleted, how are you? Xpon, we got that for you. And let me just end with Jennifer Lee's because it'll probably look good. TZUP, let's look at that bad boy real quick. Thumbs Up Media, that one's an interesting one. Almost looks like it was a shell company or something crazy at one point. I have to see this on mine. TZUP. Interesting look. Yeah, it looks like it just started on mine. I don't know what happened with this thing. It looks like it's going up. It looks very new, so I don't have like a whole lot of data. And I guess maybe they changed their name. Let me see. Something happened down here. Anyway, whatever happened, I don't even know. The 21st, thumbs up to ringing the NASDAQ opening bell on the 22nd. So that usually means that they just did something. And that was the other day. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to run up. It does look really good on here. I'll tell you that. Like the MACD, everything curling up. So we can definitely keep an eye on it. It's just fairly new, so it's hard to tell, but it does look like it's setting up. And their 50s like at 549. You're at 441 on that one. And EA is at Electronics Arts, EA Sports. You're in the game. That one's in the top. That one I think might come down. Maybe get another bounce up on that, but I'm not so sure on that. I'd be very careful on EA, and so I wouldn't mess with that too much. AAP, what's that? AAP, Advanced Auto Parts. I was just there today. I needed a new headlight. And that's funny. That one actually looks great, to be honest with you. At 4079, it was up a little bit. AAP Advanced. And yeah, that's gonna cruise. AAP, I'd keep that on your list. I'd say Advance is about to advance a little up. So AAP looking great right there. And let's look at U. What is U? I know we looked at that before. Is that Unity Software? Never mind. I was thinking X is the steel company, so never mind. U is Unity Software, technology software application. This looks like it's bouncing off of that support line at 2353 and trying to go up higher right there. U. It does look like it wants to run a little higher there. So I could see that being a momentum play for the letter U. ASPI, let's see. ASP isotopes. We actually did this tonight. This one should go up into that $9 area. ASPI. Yeah, that one looks like it's trying to curl up and get moving. So I think you have some momentum on that. And RKLB is that Rocket Lab. We were way early on that thing. I mean, it was crazy how early we saw this thing. RKLB is at $23, and we were looking at it down here in like the sevens or sixes or something crazy. I remember we looked at this thing way long ago. Aerospace and defense, so we'd gone through them a bunch. So, and this one was all set up and ready to roll, and it's at 23 something, 35. Let me see another one. It's so far up there that you just got to be very careful with it. Obviously, if it's running up in the morning, it's a momentum play. It has that look like it could be topping out finally. So just be careful with that Rocket Lab as well. And there you go, Jennifer Lee. I hope that helped. And SOUN. Did we do that one? Is that Soundhound one? Yeah, that Soundhound, that should continue its way up. Looks like it's about to pop up into the top tomorrow and keep running. So looks like it has good momentum. Just make sure it gets into the top first thing in the morning, and you should have momentum on that money. And there you go. I would say we got them all right there. And boom, we did WTO. We got them all. And there you go, everybody. Again, thank you very much for hanging out. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great night. 7 a.m. We'll do our pre-market, our Jolie's jumpers, and our laptop lowdowns. We'll look at crypto, our big caps, our SPY, see what's happening, what direction the market's going, and find what's going to be popping. I'll run through the scanner first thing in the morning, see what's happening there, and then we'll go from there for our short Thanksgiving week. And now as many poppers as we can and get the setups that are going to be ready for the week after. So there you go, everyone. Have a great night. Again, greatly appreciate you all hanging out. And I will catch you guys in the morning. Have a good night, everybody.